everyone is going to benefit. Families, they are going to benefit. So today's topic is family bonding. What is family bonding? How can families bond? So this is what we'll look at. So, a bond is just a link or a connection. So we in this program, we want to see how can families get connected to each other, how can the bonds be strengthened, having family unity in a family. Yeah. So there are some certain things which can encourage a family to bond, like scheduling time together, sharing meals, including doing some chores together, coming up with a mission statement, having family meetings, caring for your children's interests. So those things, once you do them, they'll strengthen your families, and your family is going to be united. So once a family shares all these things together, you have strong bonds. So as parents, they need to look at it, that they spend some quality time with their family members. And according to research, it has shown that when families enjoy activities together, children not only learn important social skills, but they also have a higher self-esteem, and the same also encourages them, to do better at school. Their academics, they get improved, their mental health gets improved, including the way they communicate to other people and relate to others. So it all starts first with some bonds at home, then it spreads to other people. So if at home you're having a strongest bond, it will help you and even your children with their behavior at school or any place where they are, because you as parents, you are setting this, you are becoming a role model to your children, so they'll be able to share it out to other people. So we understand, we are living in a hectic world where everyone is busy, you're busy with work and some other things, you are having financial challenges. But even if those things are happening, as families, you need to have time, for your children, for your family, so that, you can benefit more and your family can be strengthened. So whether you're busy at work, you're having busy schedules, or your child is busy at school, there are just some things which you'll look at, which will help you strengthen your family bond. So the first one which you look at is schedule family time. Whether you have children, who are of odd age, maybe, they are not really young, maybe they are somewhere in the range of 25 going up, you can still bring them closer. Even if they are, busy with school, busy with work, you can still make some time as a family to be together. We understand in the morning you can go for work, but you can come up with a schedule to say, on this particular day, we are going to have a time for us as a family. So as a family, you need to set aside time. So you need to look for time which will benefit you or as a family, not just time which will benefit maybe you as a father only. So you need to look at time which will benefit you as a whole family. Yeah. So when you do that, you are going to strengthen your family bond. The other thing is that you also need to plan some outings. You can go out with your family, you can go to some play parks, you can go to these shopping malls. Even if just going, to see someone else, it could be a friend, you organize as a family, you plan. Because some people, we come from different backgrounds. There are those people who are rich and those people who are poor. So depending with your family background, there are certain things which you can do which can benefit your family. If you can't manage, to take your family maybe to these play parks, even while it's at home, you can plan, you do some dancing together, even just going to see some relatives, it's going to benefit you. The other thing is that you also need to make some new traditions. You can make some new traditions or rules to say, For example, those people who are into farming, this season, since certain time yokolola, you can go as a family, you go and remove some plants from the field. When you are doing that, it will be helping strengthen your family bonds. The second thing is eat meals together. Many families these days, let me just say many of them, they are not having time to eat together as a family. You'll find that, the wife can cook or some children can cook, but for you to eat together is really a challenge. Someone eats on their own, the other one eats at 22, the other one 19 hours. The family is just disorganized. So as families, there is need to having meals together, because when you are having meals together, studies have shown that eating meals together has positive effects on children's physical and mental well-being. It can also reinforce communication and strong family bonds. So as a family is eating together, you get to discuss issues which will benefit you as a family. You get to know your children better, and you get to know your family better. And as a family, you can come up with some rules so that when it's time for eating, everyone should be present, not this one eats at their own time. So families, you need to look at that. And if it's something very hard for you to do, if let's say maybe you knock off very late, you don't have time to eat with your children, the best time you can have a time with your children for you to have good meals, you can do it in the morning. You have breakfast with your entire family before you go for work. That will definitely help you. The other thing which you need to do is that you need to do chores as a family. They say no, mkazi nwapa nyumba funko granchito, but if the whole family is involved in these chores, it gets to strengthen the family bond. In as much as the husband is the head of the wife, but he too can be able to help the wife in doing some certain things. There are times maybe the husband can say, okay, my wife today don't cook anything, today it's me who is going to show you. And do you know what will happen to the kids when they see a father doing that? They get to develop this love for the father, and they also get to be encouraged to say, okay, even me, once I grow old and I decide to marry, I'll also be doing the same to my wife. So that way, bonds get to be strengthened. So as family, there's nothing like, no, this child, you can make some certain chores which they can be able to do, or you just schedule them. Around this time, you're the one who is going to cook breakfast, you cook lunch, you cook supper, and then you eat together as a couple. That way, it will definitely help you. So once you make time to do these chores, how the benefits of it is that they encourages teamwork. So as a family, you are going to be more united, and you'll be doing things on time. Maybe something which you needed to do in 2 days, you are going to do it in a day and in just hours, because you are united in such kind of a family. And then you can also make a rule to say, if we're done with these chores, we are going to have time watching a movie, we'll have time eating. Sometimes you can even get your children, a cake, or you can get them these chocolates or anything, fruits, to say, once we are done with these chores, we'll have this, we'll enjoy, you'll have time to talk to each other. That way your family bond will be strengthened. The other one is create a mission statement. When people just hear this mission statement, they think about companies, you think about organizations. Yes, even a mission statement can be there in a family. A family can set up some core values, in that particular family. You can come up with some rules. In this family, we don't want this, this thing, no. So that as a family, it can grow, with some core values. We've seen this time around, some families, they've lost some core values. Children, they've lost respect, for their families, including for the people outside. It's because where they're coming from, there are no core values. So as a family, you can create a mission statement. You come up with some rules. Once you come up with some rules, you need also to involve or to engage your entire family. You engage your wife, you engage your children. We understand as a family, as a husband, you are the head of the house, but when making some decisions, you also need to engage your partner, your wife. You can also engage the children, so that the rules or the core values which are going to come up in that particular house, they are going to benefit everyone. And you don't need to impose the core values on everyone, but you need to convince your children to see to it that the core values which you've come up with, they're going to benefit them not just now, but even in future, and they can pass on to them, to the other generation. So when you make those mission statements, you need to write them down. You can print them, then you put them somewhere. It could be on a wall or anywhere where everyone can be able to brainstorm. It's okay. This time around, we need to do this. We need to respect each other. We need to talk to the elder like this. There's need for me to kneeling down when I'm talking to the elders. Such kind of core values, you need to do them in a home setup so that your family can be completed. So once you do that, you need to read out the core values so that everyone can benefit. Then each and every morning when you're having breakfast, you need to have time, to read through the core values which you had said. The other one is that have family meetings. You need to be having family meetings. So the whole essence of having these family meetings is that they'll be helping you having time to talk to your wife, to talk to your children, getting to know them, getting to know the issues which are affecting them at school or any place where they are. Look at these days, you find that mostly young ones are prone, there are these married men who are hunting these little ones, some girls. So as a family, if you're not having time with your children, the girl child, you won't discover that there are these issues which are affecting them, or there's someone who is harassing them. So as a family, as a couple, you can bring your children closer on these family meetings so that you get to discover issues which are having them. Then you can also have in these family meetings, you can also spare some time for family worship. As a family, you need to worship. You need to worship our God Jehovah. You sit with your children, you get to discuss about the Bible, what the Bible requires from you. So as a family, you can also do that, and that is going to strengthen your spirituality. Your children are going to grow up in a spiritual way, and they'll get to love Jehovah, and they'll never depart from him, because you are having that family worship time. You are spending more time together. Then when you're having such a family meeting or a family worship, you need to emphasize too that there is need to be kind, there is need to be considerate to others. You also need to teach your children, generosity, giving to people, being honest to everyone, being humble. So such kind of skills or qualities, they are going to help your family, because your family will be built on a strong foundation of love, strong foundation of kind, and you are going to be respecting each other in that particular family, and there's going to be productivity. The other thing which you can do as a family is encourage support. Some children, they may want to pursue something, but as parents, you are not there to support your children. Sometimes as a parent, they can decide to do something, but as children, we are not there to support our parents. So it starts with these strong bonds, which will help us so that these families can be strengthened by encouraging support. So when our parents are doing something, as children, we need to support. For example, some parents, they are into building houses. Then as children will say, but why is that manga manyumba, instead of them buying us, foods, clothes, so that we can put on fancy clothes. But our parents, they are too much focused on building houses. We don't support our family visions. So for a family to be strengthened, even as children, there is need for us to support our parents' vision so that our family can be strengthened. And even parents too, they need to support the vision of a child. If a child says, I want to do this, as a parent, they need to be there offering guidance and supporting a child on how they are going to achieve that certain goal. Quite alright, there's some things which a child can choose to do, and you even know as a parent that this thing will lead my child to something wrong. But if you want to correct your child, you don't need to impose change. Stop just there and then. No, you can still talk to your child nicely so that they can see the risks and the benefits of what they want to do. And if the risks there are too many, you can tell your child to look for something else which he or she can be able to do without necessarily hurting them. And if what they have chosen is okay, you know, you need to build them up, you support them, you ask them, you know, if there is need for you to add something so that their vision can be a success. The other thing which you need to do is that you need to schedule down time. You know, schedule down time. As an individual, as children, they also need to have their own time. You know, even you as a parent, you need to have your own time. You can have time as a family, but you also need to have time, you know, to reflect. What will I give my children tomorrow? You start planning. Okay, this is how I want my family to go. I want my children to grow like this. So you start planning as a mother, you start planning as a father, you know, on your own time. You know, you have time for yourself, so to say. And as a child, they can also have time for their own, including just playing on their own. You are just watching the behavior, because the whole essence of these bonds, you know, you had time with your children, you had family worship. You also need to give them pace to see how much they are responding to what you are teaching them. It's not every time that you need to be there with them. Sometimes you can teach them, then you let them be, you see if they are applying what you are teaching them, and you can be observing their behavior. If there's something which you need to change, and you need to give more praises even if a child has done something bad. So there's need to having time for yourself and having time for children to having their own time. The other thing which you can do to strengthen your family bond is that you need to volunteer together. As a family, you can volunteer to do some certain things, you know, to help other people. It could be at church. Sometimes they'll announce, you know, we need some volunteers on this weekend. We want people to come and clean the church. They sweep, you know, they do some flowers. Yeah, there's general cleaning. Or it could be volunteering at a hospital or any place where you can volunteer. So as parents, you know, you can decide to volunteer with your children. You go with them at church, you know, you sweep, you clean. Even as early as a child is 2 years, there's something which a child can do. You know, you tell a child, okay, pick that thing. You are there to model your child, you know, when you're volunteering. And the result is that you're going to have happiness by doing that. And you can also volunteer, you know, to help people out there in the streets, you know. There are some people who need help. There are some NGOs out there, you know, they're into helping out the vulnerables. You can decide to go and volunteer, and you bring along your children with you. By doing that, you know, you are going to have empathy, and you are going to be less self-centered. So you are not going to be egocentric, so to say, and even your children, they'll learn to care more about other people. They'll learn to have empathy, feeling for people, you know, developing the desire to helping others, because you as a parent, you know, you've decided to volunteer to helping other people. So you are teaching your child not to think or to reason in their own world, but they also need to think about others. So volunteering has also been linked to a number of improved health outcomes, including better physical and mental health, increased life satisfaction, higher self-esteem, and decreased depressive symptoms. So once you as a family, you decide to volunteer, your mental health, your physical health, you won't even have depression, you know. There'll be satisfaction in that family. The unity, the love is going to be there in your family. And your bond is going to be strengthened, including your mental health. You have a sound mental health. Another thing which you need to do for you to strengthen your family is support your child's interest. There are some things a child will do at school, school activities. It could be, playing soccer. It could be dancing. There's culture. And sometimes there are these activities which really comes at, there's careers day. Some parents, they'll say, Bama connect otherwise that they demand money per careers day. Tell them that you won't just go there, you just be home. So as parents, you need to support your child's interest. If a child says, Mommy, I want to be a doctor, and on careers day I want to dress like this, as a parent, be there to support your child, because it's going to strengthen your bond, you as a parent, and the bond of the child. So you are going to bond very well, and your children are going to be comfortable with you because you are there for them. If a child wants to play soccer, or if they want to watch a certain movie, or if they want to read a book, you can be there with them as a parent. You tell them, okay, this type of a book is good for you, it will benefit you in this way. You are there, to model them. You are there to watching good movies with them. There are some certain movies which are not good for a family to watch, for a child to watch. So as a parent, you can tell a child, this is good entertainment, this is not good entertainment, these are good games, and these games are not good because they are going to damage your behavior. So as parents, you need to be there to support your child's interests and your child's passions. So if your child is passionate about something, you need to be there to support them, including your child's future goals. You need to be there to support them. If your child has chosen to pursue something, as a parent, please be there to support, because as children, they'll develop more love for you, and you develop more love for them because they're engaging you in their activities. And the other thing which you can do is that you need to join other families. It's not all about you. Quite all right, you're doing this as a family. Children are learning to helping others, but you also need to join other families. There are some extended families. There are some families who've chosen to revolve around themselves only. You are damaging your children, So there is need for you to join some other families. Once you join them, you start doing things together as families, and the bonds of you and other families, they are going to be strengthened. So once you join other families, you can teach your children that, this weekend we are going to visit our uncle, and this is what we'll prepare for them. You can prepare nice meals, you can prepare anything which you can go and give them. You can also visit some other neighbors, you can visit them. Sometimes you can invite them to come join you. You also visit people from your church, with your children. That way, your bonds are going to be strengthened. So remember that your children and teens learn by example. So what you do as parents, as a husband and a wife, your children are learning. So if you revolve the world around the two of you only, your children will get that that's a normal way of doing it, and it's going to be affecting them. So as parents, you need to lead a good example to your children. You spend quality time with each other. You have family worship. You visit relatives. Even when relatives come, you need to teach your children, when visitors come, you need to greet them. Such kind of things, they're going to help your children, and they'll be even be respected by other people because you've taught them good ways on how to handle issues, and your family is going to be strengthened. So when you set aside special time for your family, you have fun with each other and you do activities together, you are demonstrating not only that you value the family, but that you value your children individually as well. So it's not all about valuing your family. It's all about you value your children and your family. You bring them more closer to you. You are going to have good bonds as a family. So there is no greater gift that you can give your family, and no better way to strengthen your family bonds than by making your family a priority. So once you do all these things, your family is going to be strengthened because you have more love for each other. So this is what I had for you. We've seen that for you to have a family bonding, or for you to strengthen your family, or to bring your family more closer, there is need for you to schedule time together with your family. You plan, you schedule time with your family, you share meals together, you do chores together as a family, you create a mission statement, you come up with rules and core values which are going to benefit your family. You have family meetings, you have family worship as a family, you volunteer helping other people out there, and you also join other family members so that your bond can be strengthened, so that you shouldn't just be egocentric, and you should have empathy for other people. And as well, you also focus on your children's self-interest. So if you are having a challenge with coming up with this, with strengthening your family bond, you're having a challenge, you don't know how to do it, you can reach us on 0964 94 1590, 0964 94 1590. So as Heart and Soul Transformational Therapy Center, will be more than glad to helping you, because our organization has trained professionals. So I, for one, I look young, yes, but we have people who are married. We've got pastors, there are some doctors, there are elderly in our organizations who will be there to helping you strengthen your family bonds. And if you're having a tough time talking to your children, or your child is expressing a behavior which is not okay, we are there as psychotherapists to helping you strengthen your family bonds, to help improve your family physical well-being and mental well-being. And once you reach out to us, we'll be more than glad to helping you and your family. Yeah, so please, if you're having a problem, or if your mental health is not okay, you need to reach out to us. Then we'll definitely help you. You can start therapy in as much as it doesn't take a day. It will help you and your family. There's also family therapy. So we engage you and your family in this therapy. You get to know how to talk to your children, how to talk to your partner. You apply assertiveness, self-awareness, and mindfulness in that family. Once you do that, you are going to have a strongest bond. Your family is going to be built on love, kindness, and there's going to be love. Thank you so much. You've been with me, Covidness Mwengwe, psychotherapist. See you next time.